out in the community here today, and always some great events happening in our community, and that's why we're here today talking with this brave man, Steve Taylor. Thanks so much for having me here at Remax here today.
Yeah,
right?
Thanks for having me on, Dave.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
This is Champion for Children, Realtors in the Ring. Say that 5 times fast, folks. Right? So you're going to get in the ring and box it out?
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're going to do some decent boxing in there. Hopefully don't get our butt kicked too bad.
Right.
But we're going to hop in the ring. There's going to be 4 local agents total getting in the ring and hoping to raise some money for the Children's Miracle Network.
Yeah,
of course.
I've talked to a lot of, actually recently talked to Frank the Hammer White, who's a boxer, and some other fellas that I know, and I just don't understand. I have no desire to get in the ring. Have you done this boxed before or sparred?
Very minimal,
Yeah.
a little bit when I was way younger,
Okay.
but I would say not really.
You're not turning pro anytime
Yeah,
soon
that's
on
certainly
this?
not.
Right,
Certainly
okay.
not. Yeah.
But this is important for many reasons. This is supporting the Children's Miracle Network, right? Which is a great cause. But this is really personal to you. Talk about why.
Yeah. So my first daughter was born in the Sick Kids Hospital there in London. She was born with gastroschisis. So we spent about 30 days up in the Sick Kids Hospital.
What is that?
Gastroschisis is essentially means they were born with a hole in their stomach that allowed her bowel, bladder, uterus to free float, essentially. So when she was born, that stuff was on the outside of her. So she had to undergo surgeries and multiple things to fix that. So obviously, without the Children's Miracle Network, a ton of the life-saving measures that were taken, a ton of the equipment, the beds, just the amount of stuff that goes in to saving the children up there is obviously very complicated and costs a lot of money. So for any chance we get to give back to that, we always want to, for sure.
That's amazing. And the children now, like they've grown?
She's my daughter's great. She's 6 years old. She's going to come to the event, I think, as well. And you'd never ever know. She plays hockey now, and everything's been great, for sure. Thanks to the Children's Miracle Network and the hospital up there, right?
Yeah. So for obvious reasons, this is important. But what about finance and all of that? Like, is that something that's not covered by OHIP and stuff?
Yeah. So part of what the Children's Miracle Network does in the Ronald McDonald House is my wife and I had housing essentially right beside the hospital, set up where all the other families stayed while we were up there for the 30 days, so we could be very close to our daughter. There was meals cooked there for us. There's fridges and stoves if you wanted to cook your own meals, because you're coming and going at all different times in the middle of the night and all that kind of stuff. So the comfortability of knowing you're really not even leaving the hospital grounds. You could stay there, you could still have a bed and be comfortable, meant a lot coming from Sarnia, right? And there's a lot of families obviously from Sarnia who end up down there where our hospital can't look after the little babies, and that's the spot they go.
Yeah, because you still got to, like when health things come along, life still has to keep going. There's still bills to be paid, and there's still work to be done, and that kind of eased some of the stress and pain of it, if you will.
Without a doubt, and having the saved time of an hour both ways. That's a lot of time when any second you're not up in the hospital with your new baby up there feels like an eternity, right? So you really want to be close to the hospital at all times, and that's one of the other special features there. But ultimately, all that money is also going into all the equipment, the beds, like, the incubators, they have to be in special pressurized incubators. And, my daughter was 6 pounds when she was born. She was premature as well. And there was a lot of much more advanced cases up there of, babies who had to be up there for much longer. Some families are up there for a year, until they get to come home, right?
Yeah.
So we were a very fortunate case, I feel, obviously with no long-term issues, but ultimately thanks to all the doctors up there and everyone who's ever donated to the Children's Miracle Network, and it's a very special place in my heart, for sure.
So that's why you're getting in the ring, and
that's why,
and raising some money. This is happening on May the 11th, right?
Yes, sir.
At the hangar out at the airport, which I know the Blue Water Boxing Club's involved in putting this on.
Yeah, luckily Coach Tom is behind the 4 local agents fighting, so we're getting some very well-needed training and coaching out of Tom.
I was going to say, like, you're not just walking in there going, okay, let's see how this works out. Like,
no, we're going every morning. We're all training together there with Coach Tom and trying to get in shape and get boxing ready. already.
So do you know who your opponent is or is going to be yet?
Well, I don't have a ton of information. I just know it's a fella out of St. Catharines, out of a gym in St. Catharines, and Tom has kind of matched us all with fighters depending on you know our level and you know trying to keep things hopefully somewhat even in there.
Right. But even though it's a fundraiser, you intend to win, right?
Well, I wouldn't. I don't want to lose. That's
right.
I don't ever want to get beat
so,
up.
Right?
You know, yeah.
Yeah. So tickets go on sale, or probably on sale now, right? And,
yeah.
How do people get those tickets?
Yeah, so there's essentially a link to the website there, or if you see the poster, there's a QR code you can scan, which will pull up all the information on the tickets. There's a lot of different avenues. You can buy just a ticket to the fight. You can get a table. You can come and enjoy the dinner as well. There's going to be a catered dinner there. There's going to be a live band after as well. So it's going to be a very fun night, entertaining. I think we have some items being auctioned off as well, and so there's going to be a lot of stuff.
It'll be a fun night for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I do know others that have used the Miracle Network and the Ronald McDonald House together, and it really is super important to our community.
For sure.
And we're, I guess, fortunate to be able to have it close enough to us that we can get there and use that. So
definitely, and I think a lot of locals don't necessarily realize how much that hospital and how much the Children's Miracle Network is used by locals right here in Lambton County, right? So it's a very high number for sure.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm hoping to get out there. I'm not getting in the ring, but I'll cheer you on there, Steve.
I hope you're there. I hope you're there. I appreciate it.
Right on. Well, thanks for what you're doing for the Children's Miracle Network and Stephen Taylor here at Remax. And we'll put all the information in the comments in this post. And I would just ask you, like and share this, but share is really the most important button so we can get the message out and raise a whole whack of money for the Children's Miracle Network. Thanks again, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, I'm David Burrows. This has been another Community Matters.